Hello, my friends! Today I would like to do something different with you to make pumpkin puff pastries. You know, in this whole world situation, what really nourishes us and helps to keep us very healthy and fit for this situation is our diet. I would like to add that this is also vegan friendly. If you choose the pastries without the eggs and replace the feta with tofu or whatever else you would like. So with that being said, $30 of costs for the ingredients, you can make approximately 40 pieces. These are the ingredients you would need: 1 pumpkin, 2 zucchini, 2 large onions, but if you have small little ones, you can double it, 500 grams of spinach, 1 can of sweet corn, and 5 blocks of feta. Also, don't forget the pastries. So if you don't have these ingredients, pause the video and I'll wait for you. While you go get your recipes, I'll just be pondering about the universe. Oh, so you're back. About that, if you're new to the channel, my name is Newin and today we're gonna be cooking pumpkin puff pastries. Let's get to it. Let's start with the pumpkin. We're gonna skin it, cut it into 2. Then we take out the core with a tablespoon. Dicing it now. Make sure it's into little cubes. For me, this takes the longest time, but it's meditative because that's how I see it. We're on the zucchini now. I personally like to keep the skin on, but if you don't like the skin, you can take it off. For me, I leave it for the color. Dice that as well. After that, let's preheat the oven. Now put a layer of pumpkin. Because we want to layer by layer the spinach and the pumpkin, so the spinach takes the moisture of the pumpkin and it doesn't dry out. Also, you will need 2 trays, because I ended up with 2 trays, but at the end when it's cooked, it'll become 1. Now we're at the herbs. Two tablespoons of Italian herbs. Half a tablespoon of thyme. One tablespoon of ginger. 1 tablespoon of chili flakes. But if you like spicy, you can totally add more. I honestly don't use too much salt in this because I let the feta salt it. But if you're a salty eater, you're more than welcome to spice it up on your own amount of salt and pepper as well. Drizzle some olive oil. This keeps it a bit moist so the spinach doesn't crackle or dry out too much. Get your bare hands, man, because for me personally, that's me getting really, really in touch with my food, feeling the texture. Of course, sanitize your hand before you do it. But yeah, with that, it is extra flavor. Lots of love in there. Now the corn. I also throw the juice in there. The corn juice makes it naturally sweet. I don't have to add anything and it'll just pop out all the flavors. Now it's going into the oven. I ended up with 2 trays. While the pumpkin ingredients are cooking in the oven, it's time to chop up the feta. It should be roasting for about 40 minutes. But every 10 minutes, make sure you stir it around. Oh, and I have to mention, if you don't have a fan force kind of oven, it might take longer. At this point, we add the feta in. Because I have 2 trays, I half the feta in one tray and the other half in the other tray. But that shouldn't matter too much because eventually you just pour the 2 trays together and you can mix it evenly. Now we get the pastry. Make sure to keep the blue wrappers because we're going to need that for later. At this point, we should pump up some music because this is where it gets a bit tiring because around an hour and a half, 2 hours of cooking has passed. Cut the pastry into 4 pieces, a full tablespoon on 1 square. Pinch it around, shape it, so it's nice and easy to make the fold. Now it's like a pastry boat. Personally, I like to keep the opening open so when it's baked, it has an opening to put the sauce. But if you like it closed, you can do that too. So honestly, for me, because I use a full tablespoon on each squares, I end up with 40 puffs. But if you halve a tablespoon, you can definitely make 40 more if you want. I just like a lot of pumpkin within mine, so I like to stuff it up. And trust me, when you get to the next 10, it gets a lot prettier. In the beginning, it might look a bit sloppy, but when you get into the flow, you end up figuring out what kind of way you want to do it. I really enjoy making these pastry puffs because it's so convenient actually. I would cook 10 and then I'll share it to my friends, my neighbors. Then I freeze the 30 of them, and when there are any friend gatherings, I just take a few out, oven it, bring it to the party, and it works out well. And you know, when I get into this crazy mode, I will just eat some myself. You made it, and that's why it's special. So The reason why I want to keep the blue wrap is because cut it into two. The ones that we don't cook, wrap it up with the blue wrapper. And that way you can freeze it without it being sticking together. And it's not like you're wasting anything, you're actually reusing something.